Good evening and welcome to the live player ratings show. If there's anybody out there, if there's not, I'll carry on regardless because it's a live player ratings show. Yes, we're coming back from Dortmund 0, Manchester City 0. I think we'll take that. I think they're quite happy with that today, guys. Job done, as we say in Europe. People look down at these games now as though we should be beating everyone and hammering everyone. But yeah, a point was needed by both teams and a point was got by both teams. So I think we'll be quite happy with that. Just been having a quick look through the player ratings on the Manchester Evening News. Who is it tonight? Simon Bajkowski tonight on the player ratings. Interesting teams, wasn't it, to start with? Interesting teams to kick off with. Obviously looking at City. Ortega, Stones, Diaz, Aki, Cancelo, Mahrez, Rodri, Gundogan, Foden, Alvarez and Haaland. Yep, and the subs, Ederson. Yep, there's a shock. I didn't think Ederson would be sub. Carson, Grealish, Laporte, KDB, Bernardo, Akanji, Palmer, Lewis and Wilson Esbrand. So interesting. Ortega, not a bad little debut, was it, from Ortega? Is he going to keep his spot for Leicester City away? Certainly no histrionics with him, was there? That was for sure. So I was quite happy with that. I thought Stones had a tremendous game. I thought all the defence did okay, apart from Cancelo, who obviously got hooked anyway, didn't he? So that wasn't too disappointing, I suppose. Cancelo went off, yeah, but he wasn't playing defence anyway, was he? He was playing more left wing. So yeah, we'll take that. Mahrez, well, what can we say about Mahrez? We'll see the ratings in a minute, but Mahrez, I don't know. I mean, what the hell's he doing? Brandon, nice to see you, mate. Glad you're on. Glad I'm not on my own, mate. Yep, classic Mahrez. Classic Marc. I mean, that's the third penalty he's virtually put in the same spot. And I must admit, as a goalkeeper, I wouldn't have gone that way because I thought he couldn't be stupid enough to put it in the same place that he's put the last three. But hey, that's why I probably wouldn't have saved it, guys. But nice to see you, Brandon. Yeah, job done, though, mate. Job done. Mahrez, interesting. Rodri was okay. Gundogan was fine. Played that double pivot a little bit, didn't he? That we normally play with Rodri. Foden was better second half once he had Bernardo alongside him. Hello, Big Morgan, mate. It wasn't that boring, Big Morgan. I quite enjoyed bits of it. I quite enjoyed watching a goalkeeper for City who sort of did the normal things and didn't look too out of place and mad. So I was quite happy with that, Big Morgan. Alvarez. He needs more time, Alvarez, doesn't he? Akanji, brilliant. He was brilliant when he came on, Big Morgan. Yeah, so he was excellent. Defensively, we looked excellent the second half once Cancelo went off, but I did say Cancelo wasn't playing defensively anyways. Pep's tactics in that first half, fortunately, saw sense and didn't alter his tactics. And altered his tactics, and changed things at half time. Pep needs a smart number two. He certainly does, Big Morgan. Brandon, my stream kept dropping so misbits. Yeah, Brandon, I've got one I use, kept free. I've got it on my phone. I have it on my phone and I have it on my PC. And usually I've got one of the others working, but one's always behind the other as well. So it's a bit of a pain, but I must have had to refresh about 20 times tonight overall. So that's it. Shall we get on with the player ratings, guys? If you want to, Brandon and Big Morgan, tell me what you think as we're going through. Simon Bajkowski tonight for the Manchester Evening News. I'll give you my little comments as well. Simon Bajkowski, Ortega. A shot pick, but was in the right place to keep out the underwhelming efforts that came his way. I can't disagree. What do you think, Big Morgan, Brandon? I thought Ortega was excellent tonight. Good standard, nothing overly complicated, and he got on with it. Big Morgan's give Ortega a 9. Brandon's give him. Hey, Brandon, this is what Big Morgan's doing tonight. He's being kind. He's being very kind tonight. Let's see how when we get to Mahrez. I'm going to give an Ortega 7. I'm going to give him a 7. Yeah, I'm not going to be mad on him. But if my basis was 6, I think Ortega was worth a 7. Right, on to Cancelo, guys. Don't swear. Hello, Doug. Hello, Doug, mate. Good evening. Did you watch the match, Doug? Cancelo, City's plan was to exploit the space behind Adeyemi, but Cancelo making so many wrong decisions saw them frequently undermined at the back. And Simons give Cancelo a 3. Right, Brandon's given him a 6. I think you've been a bit generous there, Brandon. Big Morgan's given Cancelo a 2. I think you've been a bit mean there, Big Morgan. With fairness, Cancelo, I'm going to give Cancelo. Let's have a look. Cancelo. Let me think. If my basis is 6, Cancelo's got to be 4. I'm sorry, it's got to be 4. Yeah, cheers, Doug. I watched the 7-goal thrill. Yeah, I saw the end of it, Doug. It came out on my stream right at the end. Looks certainly 7-goal thrill was a bit better than ours, wasn't it? Right, on to Stones. Yeah, I thought Stones did okay, guys. What did you think? Certainly second half, and we all played a lot better. Simon says, struggled with Dortmund's offensive line, but enjoyed pushing forward in the second half. So he gives Stones a 6. 7 from Big Morgan. I'm going to be caught out once or twice. 6. Yeah, Brandon, I agree with you. I'll give him a 6.5. I thought he made up for his errors. I don't think we tactically got it right the first half. I think that's where we got a little bit exposed a bit more. And I think once Pep tweaked it, we weren't too bad. Diaz, Simon said, return to form for Diaz, who was City's best line of defence in the first half when they were under siege. So Simon's give Diaz a 7. Smash the lights. Cheers. Well, there's only not many on, Doug, but cheers, mate. Yeah. Diaz, 7 from Brandon. 5. Really, Big Morgan? 5? 5. Is that for Diaz? 5? Or is that for someone else? I mean, I'm going to give Diaz a healthy 6.5. I thought he was pretty. MCL Big Morgan, who's that for? The 5. It just says. Sure, Diaz was better than that, mate. Surely. Right, on to Aki. I'm quite impressed with Aki, guys. Simon said, Dortmund had all kinds of joy down their right flank with Aki and Cancelo. Improved performance from left back. I mean, he's only given a 5, Aki. Do you think it was Aki that bad? Big Morgan's given him a 7. I don't think Aki was a 5. I thought we all struggled the first half. Yeah, Brandon's given him a 7. I'm going to give him a 6.5. He could have done better with that header that was over the bar from the corner. I would have liked to have seen that go in the net. But yeah, I think Simon's been a bit naff there with Aki. Right, Simon, on to Rodri. Oh, Vicky, how do you? Vicky's on, guys. We're all right. Nathan was good tonight. I give him a 7. Yeah, there you go. You got to throw any others at us that have already done Vicky, you're welcome. Big Morgan, give us 7. So, yeah, I think Aki was fine. Rodri now. Simon's uncharacteristic mistakes in midfield before he settled into the rhythm of the game. He's given him a 5 against Simon. I think Simon's had a few beers over in Germany. I don't think he's doing very well. Rodri, a 3. Big Morgan, a 3, really? I don't know. I think a bit more than that. What do you think, Brandon? Rodri's 6.5 from Brandon. What do you think, Vicky, for, have you said Rodders? Rodders, Vicky, what about Rodders? Uncharacteristic mistakes, says Simon. I'm going to give him a 6. I didn't think he was that bad. I'd have to watch it back to sort of have a downer on him. Thought it was fine. 3.5, Big Morgan. Oh, we don't have. I'm going to get rid of the halves. Right, Gundogan, guys. Simon said partnering Rodri before pushing forward was more reliable in both positions. Simon's given a 6. Gundo. I thought it was okay, but I thought we struggled the first half, and he was trying to hold things together and not quite struggling. It's the old double pivot, isn't it, with Rodri and Gundo. Gundo 6.5 from Brandon. I watched the game on Ultra TV. Gundo got a 7. Ultra TV, is that a new one, Big Morgan? Gundo, I'm going to give a boring 6 because he should have stepped up and took the penalty for me. So I'm going to give Gundo a 6. I think he should have said, I'm the captain, I'm going to take the penalty, and took it off Mahrez because he's absolutely useless. Vicky give Gundogan a 5. Yeah, I'm not going to quibble with that, Vicky. I don't think Gundogan was all right, but didn't stamp his authority, did he? Foden's another funny one. He had a good second half when Bernardo came on, but not the first half. Foden, Simon said, made some poor choices in attack, but was also involved in some of City's most promising plays. So Simon's given him a 6. 6 for Foden. Brandon's give Foden a 6. Oh, dugout, don't mention penalties. I mean, That's the third penalty he's putting in exactly the same spot, so it's no wonder they're getting saved. Brandon give Foden a 6. Big Morgan's give Foden a 6. Foden. I'm going to give Foden a 6 based on his second half display, which was much better. But I think he could have done a lot better in the first half. I thought he was a bit feeble in the first half. Right, I'm going to Vicky, what do you think about Foden, Vicky? Before I move on to the guy that's not going to get very high scores, I don't think. Have a think, Vicky. Anyway, Foden. We got Foden, and we're going to move on to Mahrez now. On Mr. Mahrez, why the hell's he playing? Why the hell wasn't he hooked? Because he didn't have a great game. And why the hell are we letting him? I just knew he'd take the penalty because obviously Ireland wasn't on the pitch. But why? Foden 6 from Vicky. Mahrez, Simon says, you can't miss penalties like that. There hadn't been much offered to that point, and another miss can't do his chances of more game time much good. Well, it certainly can't, can it? So Simon's given him a 4. Brandon's given Mahrez a 4. Extended contract, not in a million years, Brandon. Big Morgan's given Mahrez a very generous 0. And said, keys to a new clown car, he's done. Mahrez has got a 4 from Vicky. Oh, poor Mahrez. I know we got. I'm glad all the Algerian guys aren't on tonight, unless they're hiding in the thing. So Mahrez, I'm going to give Mahrez. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 4. I'm going to stick with you, mainly you guys. I'm not going to go as bad as Big Morgan. You get -3 from missed penalty on fan. Do you? Well, he should always get -3 dug out. That's for sure. Brandon not even scoring now to mask it. Yeah, Brandon, he's not looking as the same sort of player as we've seen in snippets, is he? Let's say it. We can't say he's the same sort of player he's always been because we can't. Right, Alvarez, guys, interesting one. Alvarez. Very odd one tonight. Didn't do that much for me. Simon said Alvarez anonymous for much of the game, although did force a smart save from the Dortmund keeper. I thought he should have done a bit better with that shot. Bernard, grow a pair. I can't, mate. I have to be kind. You know, it's not in my demeanour. Not my demeanour to be cruel. Brandon says 5.5 for Alvarez. Big Morgan 5. Vicky, what do you think about Alvarez? Brandon's a 5.5. Big Morgan's a 5. I wasn't impressed at all. I thought it was pretty naff. And I think it wasn't a bad effort, the shot. It took a slight deflection, but if it hadn't been deflected, it would have been straight at the goalie, so it wouldn't have been any better. So I'm going to give Alvarez, I'm going to be mean, I'm going to give Alvarez a 5. I've grown a pair, Big Morgan. I'm only giving Alvarez a 5. What do you think about that? Right, I think we're getting near the subs now, aren't we? We're going to mention Mr. Haaland out. Here we go. Right, on to Haaland, guys. He got pulled off at half-time. Not in a nice way either, anyone. It's so what about Haaland? What happened tonight? We see the ball, said Simon, a couple of promising positions, but disappointed whenever he got a sniff of goal and hooked at half-time. Well, he's not wrong there. Big Morgan, give Haaland 2. That's a bit cruel, Big Morgan. You know, you're going to have words. He didn't miss a penalty. Brandon's give Haaland a 5.5. I don't think I'll be much different to that. Haaland, let me have a think. So what did Simon say? Received the ball and a couple of promising. Yeah. I mean, Hummels played well against him, but Hummels probably knows him very well, doesn't he? Hummels, from obviously being with him for a year or two anyway at Dortmund. But I'm going to give Haaland a 5. I thought he wasn't very good. And I'm thinking he might. Vicky said I give him a 6. That's generous, Vicky. I think you've been a bit generous there. Doug, how did Dortmund play? They played very well, Doug, first half. They should have been in the lead first half, but obviously City upped it. Pep changed it about at half-time, and we were far better second half. And really, we could have nicked it 1-0, to be honest with you, which would have been a bit unfair on Dortmund. But, hey, that's football, isn't it? Brandon Haaland is prone to low scores if not scoring. Yeah, Brandon, because he doesn't do that much, does he? He works hard, but he doesn't do a lot. I agree with you. The whole team were embarrassing, Big Morgan. I won't say that. I thought we were very good second half. I thought we played a very controlled game the second half, and it was just the first half we were a bit weak, a bit feeble. On to the subs, guys. Bernardo. I thought Bernardo lifted the game for us. I thought Bernardo was excellent. What do you think, Big Morgan, Brandon, Vicky? Simon said instantly injected life into City, helped win them a penalty. He did. Bernardo was, he's only on half a game, but he's pushing for man of the match for me again, guys. I think that's probably my third on the trot if he gets man of the match. An 8 from Big Morgan. A crap game, says Brandon. It wasn't for the neutral, yes, but we can't always please the neutrals. Vicky's give Bernardo a 7. Brandon's give him a 7. I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to go 7.5. So between you guys, I thought Bernardo, again, where I want to see him up in the opponent's box, in and around the opponent's box, causes lots of problems, and that's where he was tonight, and that's when I want to see him play a lot more games. So yeah, Simon gave him an 8, by the way. I don't ever said that. Akanji, another one who made a fantastic. How did he get booked for that handball? He didn't even know anything about it. How can you book a player? I mean, his arm wasn't that far out. How can you book him for that? He couldn't have done anything about it. Akanji for Cancelo shored up a defence, said Simon, that had been wild with Cancelo and Ake on the left. So Akanji got a 7 off Simon, a 9 off Big Morgan. Dig deep, Bernard. I'm digging. Brandon's give Akanji a 7. Didn't see what Vicky gives him. Doug, have you won the group? Yeah, Doug, it's sorted. Yeah, that was enough to win the group. So we can lose the last game and still win the group, mate. So we'll put the kids out for that last game against Sevilla next week. Vicky's give Akanji a 7. I'm going to give Akanji. I'm going to give him a 7 as well. I don't. I've got loads of spades, Big Morgan. I'll use a big shovel. I'm all right. Don't worry about it. Anyone else worth a mention? Grealish. Well, Grealish came on. I'm not going to mark Grealish, guys. Wonder what Simon says. We'll wonder what he has to do to play ahead of Mahrez, and that's probably right, isn't it? I think he'll wonder what the hell do I have to do. Yeah. So Grealish. Simon give him a 6. I'm not going to give Grealish a mark. Big Morgan give Grealish a 1. I think you missed a 0 off that, Big Morgan. I know you meant 10, didn't you? Brandon missed pens. Yeah, well, who's got to take? If Haaland's not on the pitch, guys, who takes the penalties? Tell me. You're on here. You tell me. Is it Gundo? Is Gundo or the next guy to try his luck again? I mean, because if I'm sorry, if Haaland isn't on the pitch, I don't want us anywhere near the penalties if he's there. Palmer came on, didn't he? Palmer for about 4 or 5 minutes. Tried a couple of things, didn't come off. We're not going to score him, are we? Why do you say Grealish is useless, Big? Is he worse than Mahrez? Always thought Cancelo was a penalty. Well, the way he played tonight, Doug, I don't know what he was doing. He's never took one. He's never took one. But as you say, he'd probably take it with the outside of his right boot, to be honest with you, if he took one. So what does he do? Grealish? Not much, mate. You can't do much in 10 minutes when you come on that sort of game. But does he do more, Big Morgan? Does he do more than Mahrez? Let's ask, does he do more than Mahrez? Send back to Villa. Well, they won't have him. They won't have him for 50 million, will they? They won't even do that. So there's no point in worrying about that, that's for sure. So there you go, guys. That's the player ratings. 2 clowns. Big Morgan doesn't like Grealish and Mahrez. Who's your favourite player, Big Morgan? Tell us who your favourite players. Here's an interesting one, guys. Would you have Ortega starting on Saturday against Leicester? Would you have Ortega in net? Would you keep Edison out? Do you think he did enough to keep Edison out? Vicky, Big Morgan, Brandon? That's the first thing now to look forward to Saturday, and who can come into the team. So if you're not going to play Mahrez, you're going to play Foden and Alvarez, mate. Or you've got, Mahrez or Grealish, surely. You can't have too many. Send back to Villa. Big Morgan, a waste of time watching that game. It was all right, mate. It was an interesting. I thought it was an interesting game without being overly exciting. Best players KDB, yeah. Big Morgan, I can't agree with that. Ortega did well. I think he did, Vicky. I mean, I think they made it easy for him. They didn't give him anything fantastic to do, but he looked comfortable. Edison should be spooked. Yeah, I mean, I'm half and half. Whether I think Edison will play against Leicester, but I think that might have he's got up in my estimation a little bit. Ortega, anyway. It was boring. Well, It's because you're so spoilt, Big Morgan. That's the problem. Stefano Tingo was second best for us last playing. Yeah, but dugout, when you're under a lot of pressure and your team's rubbish, which they were, you are going to be, you're going to make a lot of saves, and it sometimes can look good on statistics. Pep wet the bed as usual. Well, at least he changed it, Big Morgan. At least he changed it at half time, which isn't always, Pep, he probably would have stuck with the same 11 normally. So at least he made the effort to change things, and it worked because we were far better. We were far better in that second half, I thought. Yeah, we finished top, so that's fine. That's all we need to do. Say next week, Sevilla, you can put some of the kids in. I mean, get beat and still top the league. So what does it matter? Champions League, I don't think we're going to win it. Do you guys think we're going to win it this season? I don't personally think we're good enough to win it this season. I don't think we're playing very, very well. I think we'll have a tough game on Saturday against Leicester. Doug says some interesting scores like Madrid losing to Leipzig, PSG putting 7 past Haifa. Oh, flipping heck. No, we are Morgan. We are Big Morgan. I think we're average as well. I'm going on one of the Leicester guys show on Thursday night. I'll be straight with him. I don't think we're playing very well, or certainly away from home, we're not playing well. We're not playing that well at the Etihad, are we? To be fair, Chelsea did not play well throughout the tournament. Well, that's it, Brandon. You don't always have to be the best team, and perhaps a bit of Haaland magic when it matters. There's loads of teams who've won the Euro. Real Madrid weren't the best team last year, were they? Let's be fair about it. They were the best team because they won it, but Big Morgan's confident that we're going to murder the Foxes, or the poor Foxes. United 99, Brandon, they didn't deserve that, did they, mate? That's for bloody sure. Actually, there's not many things I watched for United. I did actually watch that game. What a disappointing game that was. They certainly didn't deserve it, Brandon. They were absolute rubbish. I mean, we've got to do it at some stage. And as I say, we're not the greatest team, and sometimes not the greatest team wins it. We've got Haaland. As long as we can supply him, get KDB on the pitch supplying him, we'll be all right. He just lacked any real service tonight, but I thought Dortmund set up very well and we didn't. It's simple as that. I don't think. I thought when we made 6 changes to the last game. As soon as we make more than 5 changes, whether we're swapping a good team for a bad or a bad team for a good against weaker opposition, as soon as we make more than 5 changes, we never flow. We never flow as a team. Either under Pep or anyone else. It's just too many. It's just too many in one go. We made 6 tonight. We made 6 changes, so that's why. Chelsea didn't deserve it. Yeah, who could get next? Any confirmed possibles? I don't know how it works, Brandon, on that. I don't know what the thing is. Obviously, winning the group is always priority, even though you could finish second and end up with a better thing, couldn't you? Rodri was poor tonight. I thought it was okay, Big Morgan. Wasn't great. I've got a bit of a cross against him on my markings here, but no English, all the runner-up teams. Yeah, so there's still a game to go, so there might be a few changes to happen. I'll be interested. I think the draw is it on the 7th of November? The draw for the next round, knockout round. So that's the 7th of November, I think. Yeah, so that was good. So are we going with who was on the bench that'll play Saturday? KDB, Laporte, Edison, Bernardo and Akanji will start on Saturday against Leicester. I've no doubt about that. Yeah, so there'll be 4 coming. So there'll be at least 4 changes, which I'll be happy with. Right, guys, anything else before we say good night? And thank you for joining me for this. Much appreciated that you've come on and had a quick chat. And say, job done, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't stress. It was a boring game, but that's all that matters. It's all right. A couple of 0-0s now in the last 2 Champions League games, but hey, put the kids out against Sevilla and give them a stuffing. Well, it'll all be forgotten next week against Sevilla. But yeah, it depends who we get, Big Morgan. Depends who we get for the last 8. We've got to be philosophical sometimes. Let's be philosophical. We're through. We won the league. We won well, let's win the other league as well. But we won the Champions, the group. It's all that matters, guys. Fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to go, guys. Thank you. I'm going to finish off watching watching Halloween Ends. I've just been watching half of Halloween Ends before I came watched the match. So I'm going to watch the other half before I go to bed. Cheers, Doug. Thanks for coming on, mate. Cheers, Vicky. Thank you very much. Big Morgan, Brandon. Oh, great. Thank you. Love you to bits. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. See you guys. Sleep tight. Stay safe.